It's gonna be a little different this weekend. I'm gonna do a recap on Friday, even though I don't do a recap. Then I'm gonna do a shorter market analysis video on Sunday, because both are going to cover a lot of stuff. Plus, it's my oldest ninth birthday on Saturday, and you know, it's a big deal. We're gonna go small, but then he, was so excited about his birthday, and in 5 years he's not gonna want to do water slide type of dealio. Anyway, there's a lot of imbalance in the market today, and I'm gonna go over a lot of my moves, and what started off as a day went full Hunter Biden at the White House ball eating hors d'oeuvres made by Bill to being like, Okay. So anyways, here's my big problem. And it's this: there's huge green flow into the market. And the X magnet was 437, then it jumped to 444, finishing at 440. Okay, so obviously the jobs numbers were like but then we opened, had a small bump, nothing special, came down here, retested this, started loading calls big time, and we had a hell of a ripper. I think I was up here, I was up at like 26%, and that's when you start thinking, hey, maybe we'll actually take this, and then maybe we'll just, this is the bull flag breaking. Because if you watch yesterday's video, I had drawn in this line of the bull flag, right, and said that we need to recapture. I just drew it in. Okay, I didn't sit there for a long time thinking that I'm a charting genius, but I mean, are you kidding me? The problem here is, if you look on the 1 hour and also the 5 minute, it said, I don't like you at all, and absolutely died. Now at that point the 9 was down here and the 21. Both, this is why this is a overreaction to something. We don't know yet. I have my suspicions. Again, not a PI, but you know what I mean. Did not stop it. And here's where the imbalance comes in. So let me backtrack a little bit. Me and who was it? Me and Shane were, around here we sold our 441s that we were heavy in, and then we sat here and cried about it, right? Once we got up to here, all my out of the monies as well as yours juiced heavily. I sold all of my 443s because they were break even here, right? And they were expiring today. I held some runners thinking that we'd go, but clearly didn't. I sold half my 450s and I sold all my 453s, and I'm obviously glad I did. What should I have done? I should have sold everything and shorted. But honestly, I didn't think, neither did anyone else, that we'd just puke. And the reason is this, I look at a bunch of stuff. Here's my main reason. So the Dixie's been puking all day, and then it stops, but it doesn't rebound. Okay? And if you've traded for a long time, you know that when oil goes up and Dixie goes down, and the 10-year is kind of stable, although it was chugging, SPY goes up. So this reaction here by SPY is completely over the top, in my opinion. Like, I get it. You lose the 9, you lose the 21. The 89 did nothing. Neither did this level here or this level here. We just melted through. So here I am. I'm sitting looking at the flow, and I'm like, well, they're buying calls. And I commented in the chat that I want to see them buy the dip, which they started doing on SPY here halfway through the dump. And as you see, they bought that dip pretty aggressively and then some in the end. QQQ was delayed, but here's the thing. They started buying QQQ calls early on in the dip, but they never bought any SPY calls. So all four are confusing. 3 of them match. This is the odd man out, okay? Which is odd since you have heavy market flow. I mean, look how it came up from 0 today to 30, right? That's huge. Like if you'd get this in a spike, I'd go all in. You know? And then you had the VIX holding this trend line that we have in here that you should totally draw out. And it's rejected it, it comes out, it kind of stops, and then at the end we have a pop, but nothing major. So I'm sitting here, I'm looking at SPY and I'm looking at QQQ and I'm going, what's going on, right? Full retrace, okay? These are the biggest sellers. That's the problem here, okay? What do I mean? Let me pull you, and Apple. Well, we all know that this is the PPT, or the market makers, whatever you want to call them, right? Okay? And then they also put in that there. So, even on the 1 hour, like what is this? This is your first and second girlfriend combined from when you were young. Going nuts on you. This is what this algo is. Okay. So even the tick wasn't that bad. But okay, look at this. Okay, so I'm in hood, right? Why am I in hood? Because hood looks exactly like Carvana before its huge breakout. Let me pull up the daily and you will see. Okay, see that? Okay, I'm still in this. Best looking chart there is, in my opinion. This is like it wants it. And it's gonna give us wood next week. I'm sure of it. Look where it closed, 180, while the market's dumping. So, obviously, if you were in the chat, you saw that I played this candle for 160 points. And let's zoom in and I'll show you exactly where I sold and why. I think I sold here. No, here. And then I could have held longer, but obviously that's past expiration because I was doing 0 DTs. But if you compare that chart to the Robinhood chart, you'll see the same thing. See these and chug in, and this dude, if this plays out, let me make it a fat little wiener here for you. If this inverted head and shoulders plays out, end of year Carvana is going to close its gap and go to 120. Am I gonna make that prediction? Just like I said, Meta was going to 300 or 290 when it was under 200. Yes, I am. We're gonna be playing used cars. Okay, and so keep that in mind. Remind me later. But yeah, I mean, this was a massive play, and I was looking at it this morning. I was like, SQ or Carvana. Should have chosen Carvana here, but I thought that I missed it at 25. Clearly I didn't. So let me recap SQ. That was my best trade of the day. That ran 500% very quickly, and I was pretty heavy in it. I saw the market do nothing, and I saw this candle here, and this is where I jumped in and rode it all the way up to here. Sold most, had runners. Then when the runners came back, I added in the money 67s, and I had some 68s, and then I rolled to next week. Am I swinging? What am I swinging? I'm swinging 72 calls. Why? Because I think that this is going to at least go and test this level because it closed on the hourly 9 and the setup is just beautiful. So let me point this out to you right now. SQ 4% green. Hood. Ooh, kids on the roof. Mom's telling them to get down off the roof. That's good. Hood, almost 4%. Okay. Carvana, obviously, absolutely insane. And then we played Meta when it went up, right? Before it absolutely died with all the FANG names. And that was good too. We were in some Microsoft, Amazon. I'm still in Amazon. So what I'm swinging is Hood, Amazon, and SQ. Why did I swing Amazon? Well, Prime Day next week has that gap at 134. If market reaps, this is gonna go. Beautiful hourly setup. Even on the dump, it didn't lose the 9. Okay? And as you can see, it was also green. Okay? I'm also in U, which was slightly red because it has 5 days red and holding. Was in some Nvidia. Nvidia close to 1% green. Okay. Obviously I'm not in LMT anymore, but I'm gonna look at it. Oh yeah, and then Roblox. Why did I swing Roblox and jump into it? Granted, I jumped into it right as the dump was starting. And that is because I like the setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cracks at that level. Okay, so that level is getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. I like this hourly bull flag. It can easily just absolutely explode. So for me, that was kind of a no-brainer and a risk worth taking. So as you see, these indices, QQQ, full round trip. SPY, full round trip. Look at this, IWM. So that's what I mean by there's a full imbalance in the market. This should be down here, but it's not. So small caps holding nicely. Yes, indeed. What to make of oil chugging all day, putting on 2.5% gains. Dixie being down 0.8. VIX being down 4%. And then SPY and QQQ go and do this. Yes, we did take profit. I'm just pissed off that we didn't take all, or I didn't take all. I know some of you did. And I'm still green on all of that. And but after a move like this, it was obviously technical, but there's more to it. Okay, so let's look at the SPX daily. All right, just look at that. What, excuse my French, what the fuck is that? I mean, come on. What is that? What is this? So this can be two things. We are either going for the 21 here, which again is that level I mentioned yesterday in the video, or this is a fake breakdown, which it kind of looks like if you look at the flow and the DP and everything else. But I mean, what is this? Look at this chart. So I'm going back here and I'm seeing, okay, we went down to the 21 there and had that huge reversal, right? That was a week, 2 weeks ago, right? I would hope that we have a sharp bounce back. And I am so sorry that I'm forgetting which one of you drew this out. Which one of you drew this out? Maybe it was... what's your name? Maybe it was Todd. I think it was Todd. And sorry if I'm wrong. But we should be here. I mean, obviously this is, again, momentum, not exactly on the day. But if this is to be trusted, we should have a sharp reversal next week. Which I think we do. let me pull you to ES. Okay, again, this can go down Sunday and then make a reversal. All right, because I mean, again, we're filling out this flag here, and that's kind of what I want to see. And then that would mean that by Monday here, let me pull in the hourly. By Monday, we should retrace, in my opinion. Now, if we fall, we fall. That's why I'm 90% cash, because, you know, you never know whether it was Biden talking or whether it was people freaking out about the 10-year yield that was creeping up and creeping up. But this just, all of this doesn't add up. This is why I am going to make another video on Sunday once I've gathered more info. But I figured my plan is still the same. Going by this, I mean, they did pull down on the fear and greed index, I'm sure, with that close. So, you know, this is so-called bear adult entertainment, this close. So I'm sure a lot of people shorted it, but again, I'm gonna go by the data, sometimes lagged or mostly lagged until until it really doesn't work. So that's where I'm at. Had a good day. Could have also kept it really simple and just slammed, I tried to slam SQQ really heavy. I didn't feel all my contracts, but it was still a great play. My main focus next week will undoubtedly be Hood. I'm gonna see what Carvana does. I'm gonna figure out where that Carvana money is gonna go. My suspicion is it's either UPST or Hood, because UPST, let me just pull it up here real quick. UPST keeps holding this here. It's consolidated a lot ever since its 33 level right there, and it has a pretty strong bottom we've touched 3 times at 34. It absolutely hates this 38, 39 level, but I think it's loading again. It's kind of reminiscent of SPY. Look, if we don't go to 450 next week, I'd be surprised. Let me just put it that way, because it looks super choppy. Can be mid-month if you go by our chart here by Todd. But if we're here and we get this, we're gonna short this, and then we're gonna play 1, 2, 3, 4 days out of the money big time, and then we're gonna put on a short in the money for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So 4 and 4, okay? And please remind me, because I tried to pack these videos with as much info as possible, and then when we're trading, I don't always remember everything. Because again, I'm not a supercomputer. But yeah, I would think that either a false breakdown and we just gap straight up, or we're going for the 21, just because of the imbalance in the market. Oh yeah, another one we played today. Let me not forget FedEx. Let me just recap that one and what exactly I did. Okay, this is not a daily. Let's put on the hourly. I took it when we started going, and looking at it right now, I think I sold here because I had 552 and a halves. It held its 9. I mean, did not sell off a lot. I mean, it had major gains today. So there's a lot of these stocks that are strong, and if that's gonna be the thing going forward here, then obviously always keep playing SPY, but just thrown off by that closing. And this is obviously the big guy. And again, if you look at if these dates end up matching, that's gonna be a sell. And CPI is looking like it's gonna be a sell. So what's, if this matches up, what happens on the 13th? What do we got? Well, we have PPI, which always, again, remember last time PPI came in? It's a delayed move, usually during market hours. But now they're forecasting it higher than it came in last time, right? Very, very interesting. And as far as CPI, okay, they're forecasting it to come in lower. So if it does that, market's gonna rip. It'll probably come in flat or maybe a little high, so that could be the sell-off. But we'll see what Monday brings. Monday is gonna answer a lot of questions, but do keep in mind that if you're up a lot on your swings, now that we have this type of algo, I mean, this would not have happened a week or two ago. Not this much, maybe to this level. Like, it sliced through everything. And I remember in May, or actually it was April, we had an algo that was very reminiscent of this algo that we have. And you can see here on the candlesticks what I mean. Here, remember these days, I mean, and then we'd gap up and it was just nuts, right? It was very hard to just swing through this. You had to sit on it. And why was it so hard? Because we did 27 days of chop, and then all of a sudden we had, and especially this cluster here, that's also kind of a WTF moment, kind of reminds me of this. So that's where we're at. I would recommend, it's always, a lot of these moves are going to happen overnight. So, it's good to have a few K on, some out of the monies, and then go cash end of day and keep taking profit. And especially seeing how these individual stocks move, like Carvana or Hood or SQ, I'm gonna be playing some cons on them. And next Friday, I believe, I think next Friday could be, well, we're coming up on OPEX, so that's gonna be crazy too. But PPI and CPI next week, and then we got FOMC, and also next week we got Fed speakers back, and it's gonna be, and we get China inflation numbers, on Sunday night. So that's gonna be very, very interesting. So the shit show continues. What a week! Thank you all for all your input. It was pretty crazy, and I mean, today was pretty nutty. Especially since Monday and Wednesday were that. And then we ended with that. I'm glad we caught this move. If we put in a double bottom here, and this level that has consolidated here holds, then my plan is still to target up here. All right, love yourself, love your family. Post those grill pictures, and we'll get it next week. And in my Sunday video, I'm gonna have some more info that I've gathered that I'll present. Plus, I think I'm gonna go in this week with more of a heavy scalp mentality, depending upon how the market moves. All right. Sorry for the lengthy video, but I just wanted to pack it with information. All right. Take care.